We are about to do something new and top secret today. As I just realized, it's not going to be top secret anymore after I tell you guys. But today, we are going to be helping one of the Poppin Often With Lofton members break top 15% in this Wally trial. Hopefully, we can have them break the top 5%. Now, this is just one of the new perks that I'm adding to my membership. If you click that join button down below, you'll see all the information and what my memberships have to offer. But if you are a Poppin Often With Lofton member, tier 2 or above, whether you want to be on my YouTube or you want a personal DM video that only you could see, I will be giving you guys tips and tricks on how to break the top 15 and top 5%. This is going to become especially important once they start crunching these numbers even further. Hopefully they don't, but if they do, know that if you are a member of my channel, I got you covered. Now hold on, before we get started, I want to say this is for educational purposes only. Poke was very nice to give me their clip so I can help give them tips on how to break the top percent. We all appreciate Poke and what she brings to our community, so if any of you guys say anything bad, no, for real, the Poppin Often community is about to come for you. Stay respectful and be nice. This is all about us learning together and improving our times together so we can get to the top 15 or top 5%. All right, I swapped sides so we can see your speedometer because that's one of the main reasons why you might not be breaking that top 15 or top 5%. So you can see the speedometer over there. All right, let's get started. The first thing you want to do is ram someone instantly. You only want to ram during this part. You don't want to ram anytime after because it might mess you up. Beautiful ram. Now you can see we started to drift a little bit earlier. If we go back, let's just explain kind of what drifting is for. So when you drift in any game, the goal of drifting is not actually to turn the corner faster. The goal of drifting is to position your cart or cart in a way so you don't need to turn left or right after the drift. Here's an example. So let's go ahead and play your clip. You see, as you're drifting right now with your first drift, you're actually lining your cart up to smash into the barricade or to go into the grass. That's not what we want when we drift. We want to put ourselves in a good position. But check this out. After you realize that, you stopped your drift and you did another one. See? Now, if you let go of this, where's your cart pointing? You got it. It's pointing right towards the way you need to go. Think about where your cart is going to be after the drift. I know this game is very lenient on drifting and whatnot, and you see a lot of the high players, whether it's myself or someone else, just constantly drifting. We're not doing that just because to do it. We're actually doing that because we need to line ourselves up for the next spot and get a better racing line. I actually have a video related to that coming out next week, so subscribe that way you don't miss that. It's going to help you improve your time, whether you're racing online or doing time trials. So just so we got it out of the way, we want to make sure that we are drifting in a way so that way we are positioning our cart towards the direction of the track that we want to go. Drifting is meant to position our cart, not to turn faster. All right, so we keep going. Got a nice little ram in there. I don't recommend ramming more than once in these time trials because you might mess yourself up. So I like that we're driving. Nice, you're holding onto the boost. So one thing we want to think about here is that the more you turn and wobble like that, the more you're slowing yourself down. And so we have the speedometer in the corner because I want to show you what it looks like. So right now, if we go straight right here, you see you hit 113, but look at you wobble. You're at 107. Then you went left. Now you're at 100. Then you went right, or you kind of straightened out when you went 107. Now you're back to 101. Now you're back to 113. Now you're back to 100. Now you're back to 95. Like all of that, you're at 86. All of this, if you do this throughout the entire race, all of this adds up. So the best way to get around this, I know Disney Speedstorm is very lenient and drifting is one of the fun things about this game, but until you learn to do it in a straight line, I don't recommend doing it for time trials. And this is why I actually have a simplified version, because I don't want you guys to have to drift so much because it is extremely difficult to do. You don't need to match the high times, whether it's mine or someone else's. Don't play like that to hit top 5% or top 15%. I promise you, you do not need to drift crazy. You do not need to drift wild. Just drive. If your nitros is going, just drive. You'll get way better results. Okay, so we take the pad. When we jump, we want to go more towards the left. I said that in my newest video today that you probably haven't seen yet. So this is the old version of what they're trying to do. Go through here, beautiful. I like that. Now we have two choices. And this is something, again, in my newest video that I did not explain in the last video. The updated video is up today, so check that out. If you do not have an item, you want to go towards the right. There's going to be a set of items here, and then there's another set of items over there. We have two chances to get a Wally ability or a Nitros here. if we don't have an item, we need to make sure that we get one. If you attempt to go over this airflow area and you don't get a good item on this drop, that whole section, you are screwed. You need to make sure that you go towards the right just in case, because you will be, you know, screwed. So we go up, boom, we go over, nice. Luckily we got an item. We got a Wally item, so we're chilling. But if you got a cloak or something like that, this whole run would have been doomed. So you got to make sure you go to the right. I love that you're going in the grass. It's beautiful. However, do not get confused. The boost that you get with Wally's ability right here, that's not a Nitros boost. You are still going slow. You want to make sure you activate your Nitros when you go through this. So right here, activate your Nitros, because that little Wally trash boost is not a real actual Nitros boost. You have to boost at the same time. So there you go. You popped your Nitros, but we got to do it in the grass. Grab an item, hop on the rail if you can. Oop, you missed it. That's fine. Use the cloak. You don't, look, again, you don't have to drift crazily. I know, the thing is, I see this a lot, and it's not just you, Poke. I see this a lot with a lot of players, because we always want to replicate those who are better at things than us. But I promise you, you do not need to do this. Just drive straight. I promise you, with all my heart, drive straight, Poke. When you have Nitros, it's insane. Now when you get here, you're gonna have to drift because you don't have no more Nitros. So now you're doing the proper thing. You can go through the grass if you want, but getting an item is definitely important as well. We don't want to use the item until we actually drop down. So wait till you're like flying in the air and then use it. Okay, now we want to go under. Don't take the rail, because the trash is spawning underneath, not at the top. So if you ever drop his trash down, go underneath, not over. Okay, you're holding the ability, which I like. Now drive through the ramp. Okay, perfect. You got through the ramp. Now you're gonna have to use the ability. The main goal of this trial is to make sure you extend your Nitros as long as possible. So again, we don't have an item. We're gonna have to take the right side. Watch what happens if we don't get the item. We're kind of screwed. You see, we got a disc. You have two chances to get a Wally boost or a lightning boost. And because we didn't take the right side, you don't have a chance to get it. And again, this is not something that I showed you. So don't feel like, this wasn't in the video. This is in my newest video. So that's not something I talked about. Make sure you are boosting. We need to be boosting as much as possible. Use that Nitros as much as possible, Get that Nitros going. Okay, try to get the rail if you can. Don't sweat it if you can't. It's just something you gotta think about. A really good way to kind of get that rail at the same time as the item is, again, don't drift so crazily. Drifting is gonna cause you to, it's gonna cause you to lose control of your cart. This is why I don't recommend drifting left and right until you really understand the ability to control your cart, like to a T. Even I still mess up, and even the higher people that you see play, they still mess up too. But we limit how much we mess up, and that's the key. You want to make sure that you have a controlled group of mess ups. I'll mess up like 3 times a race, maybe. That's a controlled group. But the drifting that you're doing right now, it's very up and down. You don't really know how much you'll mess up, and when you do mess up, it's really crucial when you're running your time trial. The best thing you can do with this is try to come to the side like that, and that way you're already kind of facing the rail when you're going. It's very easy to go on the rail from that direction. You see how you kind of do it, but the thing is you lost control of your cart, so by the time you go for that jump, it's just not there for you. Definitely go this way, take the rail because you're already going to be able to have your boost. Boom, beautiful. Don't turn, ride it out. Just ride it out, go straight. You see, every single time you turn, his top speed is like 113. I think it might be a little higher than that, but I actually don't know because I forgot. But his top speed is like 113 or higher. You're sacrificing so much of that top speed by going left to right. The thing is, even if you go left to right and you land the drift, it is still most likely going to slow you down unless you can continuously do that without wobbling. If you watch me drift or you watch someone higher in a really high ranked drift, you'll notice that we're drifting in a line. So you don't actually see our cart do this. What you'll see is our cart like keep going like this, right? Every single time. We'll stop a drift, but we'll just stay doing this. With your drift, we're seeing your cart kind of wobble to the sides to reset your drift. When you learn how to do it really quickly, your cart is going to stay in this direction and you're just going to continue to do it. Again, I recommend going to a straight track and just getting a feel for what it's like to drive left and right. Once you notice how much speed you lose, it's going to scare the crap out of you and you're never going to do it again. That's what I did. I was like, do you lose speed in Dixie Speedstorm? And then I tried it and I was like, oh, you lose like 30 miles per hour just by turning? And after that, I was spooked. I would never turn again. Like, I will drive straight into a wall if I have to. Okay, no, that's nonsense. But I think the main thing to work on right now is nitros management. You need to be trying to use your nitros as much as possible. Also, do not be afraid to drive straight. Do not feel like you need to pressure yourself into drifting left, right, left, right, left, right. I promise you that's doing more harm than good. I promise, I promise, I promise. I will not steer you wrong. Trust me. And then the third thing is to just make sure that you always have an item in your pack. So always just make sure you have an item of nitros or Wally ability in your pack. Once you watch this and then compare it to my updated video, you're going to kind of see them mesh together in a way, and it's going to help you out. So again, this is just something that I'll be doing for members from this point on pretty much. If you are a tier 2+ member of my channel, I'll be doing this every single time trial. So if you ever have issues with getting your character, know that I will give you tips and tricks, whether you want it on my YouTube or you want a personal DM video, let me know. I obviously would rather have it on my YouTube so everybody can learn. But if you really feel like you don't want it there, I understand, and I can just DM you the video as well. This was a great learning experience for everyone. And Poke, again, I really appreciate what you do for the community, for the channel, just being an all-around great person. Until next time, you know what I always say. Thank you guys for doing what? Poppin' often with Lofton.